And we are live. Welcome back to Takes by Fans. We have a great show for you today. As always, we are live every single day at noon Eastern. If you want to watch live, head over to twitch.tv/takesbyfans. If you want to watch but not live, head over to our YouTube channel, Takes by Fans. We post all of our shows and clips of the show there on a daily basis. And if you just want to listen, we're on podcasting apps too, folks. Driving home, from work, want to listen to some Takes by Fans, we've got you. Spotify, iHeartRadio, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, your preferred podcast provider surely has Takes by Fans. So go look us up, follow us, listen to us, and that would be greatly appreciated. Alrighty, today is a big old Thursday, so we still have to guess or predict, really. We're not guessing, we're predicting. Predicting and reacting to the lines for the two championship games. AFC Championship game, Bills, Chiefs. NFC Championship game, Bucks, Packers. So we're going to talk about that a little bit, talk through the game, see what the lines are. Are we, is our thinking on par with Vegas? We've been doing pretty good, throughout the playoffs with our, predicting the lines. And we'll see if we can get any good value this week. So we've got that on the show today, and we also are, breaking down the NBA like we'll be doing, basically every day. So yeah, without further ado, let's jump right into our stories of the day. Alrighty, the first one, Chiefs fans can finally breathe a sigh of relief here. Chiefs quarterback Patrick Mahomes, with the concussion and the toe, was officially a full participant in Wednesday's practice, so he's cleared concussion protocol. Hopefully the toe isn't, limiting his mobility at all, because I do want to see, him be kind of 100%. This is the AFC Championship game. We got the Chiefs, we got the Bills, two great teams, and I want to see a great game, and I want to see the best team win. I don't want to see, a team win because the other team was not fully healthy. So glad to see Patrick Mahomes back practicing. He's going to be good to go for Sunday's game against the Bills, and now we get Josh Allen versus Patrick Mahomes. Oh my goodness, two big cashless performers throughout the entire season. They've been, top 5 of our power rankings really down the stretch. I mean, probably the last 7 weeks we had Bills, Chiefs at least top 5, and then we slowly worked their way up to 1 and 2 where they are right now, I believe. So Patrick Mahomes, all goody to go. Alrighty, Dwayne Haskins is still making his way around the league trying to find a new home, and now he's going to be visiting the Steelers today. Interesting. We know Big Ben is going to come back for another year. I mean, that's kind of preliminary stuff that's coming out that he is going to come back. So now, once again, he's going to be a backup quarterback if he even makes the Steelers roster. So now you're thinking to yourself, who's really on the Steelers quarterback list? I mean, number 2 was Mason Rudolph. He's not good. Is Dwayne Haskins better than Mason Rudolph? I don't think he's any worse. I really don't like Mason Rudolph. He's had multiple, games to try and get, that, starting position for when Big Ben finally retires, but he's not going to be the guy. And then we get Joshua Dobbs, the third string for the Steelers, and I think he's probably better than Dwayne Haskins. He's a nice dual threat quarterback, decent arm, put up the yards in college. I believe he was at Tennessee, and he's a good dual threat quarterback. So honestly, if the Steelers are looking at really any quarterbacks, I really kind of want to see Joshua Dobbs be the number 2. I really wanted to see Joshua Dobbs actually play instead of Mason Rudolph in that Browns game, because I really did not like anything I saw from Mason Rudolph last season when Big Ben went down and they were going between Delvin Hodges and Mason Rudolph, and it was just not good. So Steelers looking to add another bad quarterback to the roster with Dwayne Haskins and Mason Rudolph. We'll see. I mean, he's not going to be playing. I mean, all these news stories about Dwayne Haskins visiting teams, he will not start for any team ever. I'm telling y'all, the man is not that great. He's a backup, decent backup, but he probably won't win you the games as a backup. He'll just be there. He'll just be there under center. Alrighty, and then Dolphins, are you listening? This is what we're doing here with the third pick. DeVonta Smith here. Tua to DeVonta Smith. We got a nice little clip from when they were in Alabama together. I mean, folks, look at this beautiful ball, wide open. And watch DeVonta Smith on this route, folks. This is why you take him at number 3. Let me expand it. We'll go full screen on it. Keep your eyes on Devontae Smith at the top of the screen. Look at him burn this corner right off the line of scrimmage. 2 steps, and he's already gone. Tua, literally 1 second, 1.5 seconds, and lets the ball fly. Beautifully thrown, perfectly accurate. Devontae Smith is killing all these cornerbacks. Now let's count the yards on this pass by Tua's arm that everybody says that Tua can't throw. Gonna launch it from about the 30. Beautiful rainbow pass all the way down to the other 30. So 20 or 40 good yards in the air. The arm is fine. And this is what we do, Dolphins fans. Or the Dolphins management. You take Devontae Smith at number 3. And I don't usually say this often, but if we don't take Devontae Smith at 3, I will not be a Dolphins fan any longer. I will be done. I will be donezo. We got to get this man some help. And this is a luxury pick. We just robbed the Texans franchise. Get what we need the most, and that's a weapon for Tua. I mean, folks, they've got chemistry. We're talking about Heisman winners. We're talking about college football national champions. Get these two reunited. Please, please, please. Oh, my goodness. I mean, let's watch this again. I mean, the reason why Davante Adams and Stephon Diggs are having so much success at the wide receiver position is because they're good with their feet. DeAndre Hopkins is a more, physical wide receiver who will go up and get the ball. Davante Adams, who with Aaron Rodgers, everybody says he's great. It's because of his footwork. Same thing with Stephon Diggs. He can just get open based solely on his feet. And we're seeing it here with Devontae Smith. So we're talking about Devontae level grade wide receiver at the number 3 pick. You got to go and get him. Beautiful, beautiful. Alrighty. And then our last story of the day, this just broke about an hour ago. The Grizzlies' next 3 games have been postponed. More COVID outbreak here. So this is the official statement from the NBA. The Memphis Grizzlies' next 3 games, Friday, January 22nd against the Blazers, Sunday, January 24th, and Sunday, January 24th, and Monday, January 25th versus Sacramento, has been postponed in accordance with the NBA's health and safety protocols. The games are being postponed due to unavailable players for the Grizzlies and contract tracing for other players on the roster, and in order to ensure the health and safety of players of the both teams. So they're going along. They think they got a little bit of an outbreak, just making sure everybody's good to go, and not trying to spread this any further because the NBA is already having multiple problems with COVID. I mean, right here. This is a prime example. 3 games the Grizzlies are going to be not playing. So we'll have to keep an eye on that. Hopefully they get this kind of figured out, after, or before the midway part of the season, because that's really when, the NBA really matters. Once, we're at the back half of the season, fighting to get in the playoffs, making sure everybody's healthy, making sure, you're all right on the same page. So, if we can, if they're having a little bit of hiccups here in the first, month, 2 months, 3 months, that's kind of all right. But we definitely have to get it cleaned up a little bit once we're talking about, getting into the playoffs and when games really start to come down to the wire and mean a lot more. Alrighty, so that's all the stories that we have today. Now let's switch over to the NBA. Couple of good games on yesterday. Nets, Kyrie Irving, I mean, his first game there and they don't win. What is up with that, right? Truly. So yeah, we're going to be breaking down all the games. So the first one, we'll start here. Here it is, Nets in the Cavs, and the Nets with Kyrie Irving, James Harden, and Kevin Durant all on the floor together. They don't win the game. Now, they all played very, very well, but Colin Sexton was really a problem here. Going into double overtime, we got a nice little clip here. I mean, this is what the Nets were dealing with all game. I mean, this man, I think he dropped like 40-something points. Just look at this. This is the go into double overtime, a huge clutch 3. So, yeah, the Nets, they've got all the players, but Colin Sexton's like, hang on. Y'all need 3 players to be good and, drop all these points. I can do this single-handedly, and that he did. So very well done to the Cavs. Very well done to Colin Sexton. We'll start with him because that man dropped 42 points, 5 of 11 from 3, huge threes in overtime. I think he scored like 20 points straight from overtime into double overtime, and that's really why they won. So they could not guard this man, and he really took over. He just took over the game at the end of the game. So very, very well done to Colin Sexton. 16 of 29. The man took 29 shots. Hey, I mean, 55% when you take 29 shots. That's pretty darn good. That's pretty darn good. So 42 huge points from him. Larry Nance Jr. also had some clutch shots in overtime to kind of keep the score close, keep it, when they were down by 3, Larry Nance Jr. was hitting big threes. Colin Sexton was hitting big threes. And Jeff Green for the Nets was also hitting big threes. I mean, everybody was hitting big shots down late. Obviously, Kyrie Irving, Kevin Durant, and James Harden, they were all hitting big shots. But then we get Jeff Green here hitting big shots, too, for the Nets to keep it close and to keep it going into overtime. So, I mean, really just a shootout here, and Colin Sexton was, the best of the best that night. So, and then also, Brooklyn Nets, we took them -10 in our moneymaker. Come on. We trusted Kyrie Irving. We thought it would, they would get the win. It's the first time they're all playing together, and they lose the game. It's not a great look. All right, so let's start talking about the Nets quickly. Kyrie Irving, 37 big old points. Like I said, he was hitting clutch shots. James Harden, 21 points. Kevin Durant, 38 points, 12 rebounds, 8 assists. James Harden also had 10 rebounds and 12 assists. So, I mean, the team's working. They're all great, and they're all getting their points and their buckets and their opportunities. So that's not the problem here with the Nets. It was just they needed somebody else. They just needed a fourth. I mean, how many other superstars does this Nets team need to beat the Cavs? To beat the Cavs, we're not even talking about the Lakers or the Warriors or the Bucks. We're talking about the Cavs, who are decent, but there's a lot of role players, as we say. All right, DeAndre Jordan adding 13 points, only 4 rebounds, not the greatest. What else we get? Jeff Green, as I said, big shots down the stretch in overtime, 16 points, 7 rebounds by him as well. Joe Harris, only 6 points, but I mean, there's really no more points to be had when Kyrie Irving's getting 37, Kevin Durant's getting 38, and James Harden's getting 21. So, how are we supposed to get points with all of them doing that? So, a little unfortunate here by the Nets. They'll be fine. As we said, the big three is scoring. So as long as they are putting up the points, they should be good. Game just kind of went into double overtime. Colin Sexton was going out of his mind. So no reason to kind of bail on this Nets team, but it is kind of funny that they lose their first game with the big three. Alrighty, let's move on to Mavericks and Pacers. And Mavericks get back on track here, winning 124-112 over the Pacers. Let's start here with the Dallas Mavericks. Luka Doncic, I mean, he only put up 13 points, and they won the game. Fantastic. He's been putting up triple-doubles with like 30 points, 25 points plus, and they're losing games. But now only 13 points, being a little bit more of a facilitator with the 12 rebounds and 12 assists, and they get the job done. So great win here. Kristaps Porzingis had a great game, 27 points, 13 rebounds. Very well done. And then they got some great contribution from Trey Burke, 22 big old points off the bench. I can definitely get behind that. And he also shot 9 of 16 from the field. So very well done there. Alrighty, let's go to the Pacers now. What happened there? Why did they lose? Sabonis, he put up his 25, 10 rebounds. All right, that's what he does. He shot 60%. Very well done. And then we get Malcolm Brogdon with 26 points, 5 assists. We see Edmund Sumner not stepping up, only 7 points in the starting lineup. Not the greatest, so. Pacers get the loss here. I mean, they really only have Sabonis. I mean, that's their best player, and he does everything great. Everybody else is just a little bit of role players here on the squad. Whereas the Mavericks, they do have some nice big players, as in, Doncic and Kristaps Porzingis, and then Trey Burke off the bench, and the way that Tim Hardaway Jr. has been playing. So a little bit more power on here, and the Mavs have been kind of underperforming, so far this season. So they're back on track with a nice win over a decent Pacers team. Alrighty, Celtics and 76ers, and the 76ers get the win. And folks, I mean, it's unfortunate, but without Jason Tatum, that's the reason why the Celtics lose. They need Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown to be playing in the same game, because when it's just Jaylen Brown, they just don't have that extra score that they needed, and it really kind of killed them down the stretch here in this game against the 76ers. So Jaylen Brown did what he does, 26 points, very, very well done there. Marcus Smart, 25 points, once again doing what he does, and Kemba Walker, 19 points, 6 assists. That's kind of classic Kemba Walker, but then they just don't have that other option. They got got Grant Williams, only 4 points. Tristan Thompson, 2 points. That's not going to get it done. They need Jason Tatum. This kind of Celtics team got a little less firepower from last season, to this season. So with Jason Tatum being out, now they're even more shorthanded than they were last season. And we liked them last season. We were, they were one of our top teams last season. They were good. We were rooting for them. We kind of predicted them to kind of go deep in the playoffs. And, so they lose Gordon Hayward. Now you got no Jason Tatum, and it kind of bites them in the butt. All right, let's talk about Daniel Theis. He went back to coming off the bench this time with Tristan Thompson in the starting lineup. And Tristan Thompson, all right game, only 2 points, but he did have 9 rebounds. Not so great on the defensive end by being a negative 12 there in the plus minus. So Daniel Theis, he was all right throughout the entire game. I mean, he put up 23 big old points with 7 rebounds, and he was a plus 4 coming off the bench in 27 minutes, which is actually pretty good. But his kind of defense down late, he gave up, basically the game-ending foul, making, the 76ers be up by more than one score with under 45 seconds left. So Daniel Theis, a little bit of a liability down the stretch during this game. I'm not a big fan of him. I don't think he really does. He's a decent defender, I guess, and that's really all he does. But down the stretch, making some critical errors, and the Celtics get the loss kind of because of it. Alrighty, let's talk about the 76ers now, and oh my goodness, Joel Embiid, folks. I mean, this has got to be a front runner for the MVP here this season. I mean, the way that this man's playing, I mean, he just dropped 42 points, 10 rebounds. He shot 63%. He hit a 3, fantastic. He got to the line 21 times, talking about not being able to contain somebody. So he was just eating all over Tristan Thompson and Daniel Theis all game long. Getting fouled, going down low. I mean, to do 21 free throws, I mean, that's truly fantastic. So, Joel Embiid's fine. Ben Simmons, all right, struggling a little bit offensively like we know he does. 11 points. He did have 8 rebounds and 8 assists. I mean, that's kind of more his game, being more of a facilitator, being kind of a distraction on the court, even though he can't really shoot. But so he's the best distraction he can be. Danny Green, I mean, 12 points. He shot 50% from 3. Some kind of big threes, but then, also big misses. That's classic Danny Green, just not consistent throughout the entire game. So he's still having, still carrying over what he did with the Lakers last season. He's still carrying it over here to the 76ers. Tobias Harris, 22 points off the starting lineup, so that's great contribution from them. And then they got, Shake Milton with 16 big old points off the bench. That is absolutely fantastic. And, he was a big old reason why they won the game down late down the stretch. So very well done to the 76ers getting back on track with the win here against the Celtics. Alrighty, let's move on. Another pick here from yesterday that we actually hit. Pistons, Hawks, and the Hawks win in overtime. Did they win in overtime? Did this game go into overtime? I thought it did. I believe it did. It does not specify, but I do believe it went into overtime. And Trae Young just absolutely went wild in overtime. Some big old threes. He had 38 points overall, 10 assists. I mean, this man, I really love this step that he's taken from the last 2 seasons to this season. This Hawks team, they've got the pieces and they've got the players. Trae Young, 38 points. Clint Capella, 27 points. John Collins, 31 points. Kevin Hunter, 17 points. I mean, that's fantastic bench or starting numbers. Now, unfortunately, they really don't have that deep of a bench. I mean, look at these bench numbers. 0 points by Tony Snell. He only played 17 minutes, but still no points. Oniki and Conquay, 2 points. Brandon Godwin, no points. Nathan Knight, no points. He only played 5 minutes, though. And then Rajon Rondo, only 2 points. So really no bench depth. But, they do have some nice shooters at the starting lineup. And, it's just enough to get it over the Pistons this game. So, they're winning games because of it. So we can kind of get behind it a little bit. Alrighty. Pistons, Blake Griffin, once again, not that great. Only 17 points, 7 rebounds. He hit two of 2 of 4 from the three. That's kind of what he's trying to do, develop the 3-point shot. It's all right. It's not great, and I would strongly encourage against it. Get back to the dunk, get back to the pick and roll with Derrick Rose, Delon Wright. But Blake Griffin's really a no factor here for this Detroit Pistons team, and it is truly unfortunate. Jeremy Grant, probably their best scorer. I mean, he put up 32 points this game. Very well done. He shot 54%. Once again, he took 22 shots. So, I mean, shooting 50% on that's pretty decent there. Derrick Rose off the bench, 14 points, only 1 assist. So, not, a classic Derrick Rose game. And he also only shot 46%. Not the greatest. So, I mean, this Pistons team, they don't have that superstar, and Blake Griffin's regressing, not getting any better, and Derrick Rose, he's just a solid bench player at this point in his career. They're not elevating to no starting positions, unfortunately, and he's just making the best out of a bad situation coming off the bench. So we know this Pistons team isn't good. We took them in our moneymaker yesterday. What was the official line on that? Let me bring it up real quick. It was Hawks minus 4.5, and they won by, what is this, 9? Where are we at here? Here it is. And they win by 8. So perfect hit there. Unfortunately, the Nets kind of ruined it for us. Alrighty, let's move on. Heat in the Raptors, and the Heat get it done with no Jimmy Butler. And once again, another pick of ours from yesterday, Heat plus 4.5, and they win outright. Absolutely fantastic, kind of like what we said. Even though they didn't have Jimmy Butler, I mean, they still put up points without Jimmy Butler. Jimmy Butler is just a good defender and a great kind of on-floor captain, on-floor general, and, just keeping everybody, he's the on-floor coach, basically. He's not going to get you like 30 points a game. He's going to get you a solid 17 to 22. That's his game. So without him being in the starting lineup, it's not bad because this Heat team is decently deep and they've got great shooters. So we love them plus 4.5, especially going against this Raptors team who has been getting exposed lately of just the bench players that they are. Nick Nurse is trying his best, but at the end of the day, they kind of, outlived their run here. Their kind of dynasty, if you will, over the last, 2-3 seasons where they won the ring. They were decently competitive last year, and now this year is just a total collapse. And Nick Nurse is definitely going to have to start rebuilding, trying to acquire a superstar. You need at least one superstar, folks. You really, truly do. And this Raptors team really doesn't have one. We'll get to them in a second, but let's start here with the Heat. Goran Dragic, 17 points, classic. Bam Adebayo, 14 points, 13 rebounds, 5 offensive rebounds, and 7 assists. So he was getting it done all game, and that's what we know Bam Adebayo, and he was also a +2 in the plus-minus, so decent defense by him as well. Kelly Olynyk kind of stepped up hugely here, 15 points by him. Very well done. And then Duncan Robinson, 14 points. I mean, these are the usual suspects of who scores, and they all did pretty decently. And then Kendrick Nunn coming off the bench, leading scorer off the bench. That's how kind of deep they are. That's what they can do. 28 points. And then Andre Iguodala, 13 points. He hit 3 of 4 from the 3 and one to really ice the game down late. So, I mean, this team is still deep. They're great. Tyler Hero didn't even play. Myers Leonard's not even playing. Jimmy Butler's not even playing. I mean, this is basically what we said all last year throughout the bubble season of why we love the Heat and why we thought they would, get to the, the Eastern Conference Championship. Because they're this good, folks. They are truly good. They got to the finals, didn't they? Did they get to the finals? It was Heat Lakers, wasn't it? Who was it? Was it Heat Lakers? I will have that for next show, but they either got to the Eastern Conference Finals or they did get to the finals. They may have gotten to the finals. So they're still deep and they're still good, and everybody is still carrying over from what they did last season to this season. So we're still big on this Heat. No Jimmy Butler. I think he's dealing with the COVID. So, we wish him the best, and, we wish him to get back to the starting lineup. Not that they really need him, but he definitely makes them better. I mean, with him playing, they just get more deep. So the deeper you are on the bench, basically the better you are. Alrighty, let's go to the Raptors now. And why did they lose this game? Who did not step up? We know with this Raptors team, a lot of role players, and they all need to have a great game if they want to have a chance at winning the game. So let's see who did not show up here. Well, we see Kyle Lowry, only 8 points, and that's basically it. He shot 16%. That's awful. That's awful. In 36 minutes, 2 of 12 from the field. God darn, he took 10 threes, folks. 1 of 10 from 3, 8 points total. Not very good there. Fred VanVleet, 24 points. That's very solid by him. 9 assists to go along with that. He only shot 38% as well. So once again, not a good shooting team. They don't have that superstar role players, folks. Pascal Siakam, 18 points. It's decent by him. We do know that he can get us, 25 to 27 points. We've seen him do it before. But these last seasons, definitely last season in the bubble, he floundered big time. Kind of the reason why they didn't go too deep into the playoffs last season, because really Siakam didn't step up, and he's really not. He's doing decent here. This is a decent game, but overall this season, he's not having a real great season. So we'll have to keep an eye on him throughout the season. He shot 46%, 18 points, 3 rebounds, nothing too great. 0 of 3 from the three-point line. Nothing great. OG Anunoby, 18 points. He shot 50%, the best on the team. The best on the team shot 50%. And he had 7 rebounds to go along with it. So we can kind of trace it back to, Kyle Lowry having a kind of a lousy game here with only 8 points. Alrighty, their bench, let's see, what do they got here? Really nothing good. Holy cow, this is not a good bench performance. Or actually, I was looking at the wrong column. Terrence Davis, 16 points off the bench. That is good. I can definitely get behind that. And Chris Boettcher with 8 points and Norman Powell with 7 points. That's good too. So actually, let's take that back. The bench was actually decent this game. Not too deep. They only played 4 players on their bench. So they're still not that deep. But, they got some serviceable players. They're role players, folks. So, very well done to the Heat, getting the win 111-102. Alrighty, big old game against Orlando and the Timberwolves. Let's start off with this highlight. A buzzer beater win for Cole Anthony in a huge 3. They're down by 2 as time expires, and he launches a wild 3 and it falls. So very, very well done. Love seeing game winners, buzzer beaters. Being clutch, folks. If you're not being good, just be clutch. I can forgive not being good if you're clutch. If you're clutch, and I will respect the heck out of you. So a huge shot here by Cole Anthony, getting the win and elevating his team over the Timberwolves. So we can definitely get behind this man. Let's see what he did all night. Did he just hit that one buzzer beater, or was he a good contributor throughout the entire game? Cole Anthony, 13 points, 7 rebounds. He shot 3 of 3 from the three-point line, so he was automatic from the three-point line, and he's like, hey, I'm already 2 for 2 at this point. Let me take the game winner, and he hit it beautifully. So very well done there. And he shot 71% overall, so, he only had 13 points, but he wasn't going to score. He put up 13 points, got 7 rebounds, 3 assists, and he called it a day. Oh, and he also called game on it, too. Very well done. Evan Fournier with 24 points. He did not shoot very well. Good thing he wasn't taking the buzzer beater 3 because he shot 2 of 9. Not great. Probably wouldn't have fallen. Vucevic doing what Vucevic does. 28 big old points. Led the team. And he had 8 rebounds. Got to the line 4 times. And he shot 3 of 7 from 3. So not bad. Aaron Gordon with only 13 points. A little unusual, but they didn't. Luckily, he had Cole Anthony to bail him out a little bit. So 13 points by him, 9 rebounds, 7 assists. That's what Aaron Gordon does. Got to the line 8 times and 1 of 4 from 3. So not a terrible game overall. A little bit of bailed out there by Cole Anthony. Alrighty, let's go to the Timberwolves now, and they don't really have any big star player. Their best player right now is D'Angelo Russell, now that Karl Anthony Towns is not playing. D'Angelo Russell, only 19 points. That's the leading scorer. I don't think you can win a game if you don't have a leading scorer, not in the 20-plus points. So we get a loss here by the Timberwolves. What else do we got here? Anybody else good? Not really. Malik Beasley, 13 points. Naz Reid, 14 points. No real They got decent contribution from the bench, I guess. Jaden McDaniels, 12 points. Jarrett Culver, 7 points. Anthony Edwards, 8 points. Josh McLaughlin. Is that McLaughlin? McLaughlin? 6 points. So yeah, I mean, this Timberwolves team, they're not great. I think they're the worst team in the league, honestly, with only 3 wins. So not a great team. No big superstar, and going to be irrelevant pretty much moving forward throughout this entire season. Alrighty, let's go to a little bit of a better game here. Suns and the Rockets, and the Suns are back on track with the win here. Still no John Wall for the Houston Rockets, unfortunately. Once he gets back into the lineup, I really think it's going to work. Victor Oladipo, John Wall, Eric Gordon, they'll get it done. PJ Tucker, they'll get it done. DeMarcus Cousins coming off the bench. Hopefully he starts to elevate his game because, he was a good talent a couple seasons ago, and then he's always injured, and he's been floating around from team to team to team. Played with LeBron, but never really played because he got injured. Now he's here with Houston, and James Harden just left. So, wherever he goes is just not good. He may be a curse, folks. He may be a curse, unfortunately. We can start here with the Rockets. Victor Oladipo, 22 points. Eric Gordon, 22 points. Christian Wood, 20 points. Very well done there, along with 11 rebounds. So some decent names here. And then when you add John Wall to the mix, I think the Rockets are going to be kind of competitive here. They're going to be a fun team to watch. Victor Oladipo, still doing what he does. So very well done there. All right, let's talk about the Suns now. Chris Paul, 13 points, only 4 assists. He didn't have a great game, but just enough to get it done. Devin Booker, 24 points. That's really it. He had 5 rebounds. But look at this, DeAndre Ayton. I mean, when you've got, 2 great, ball spreaders and pick and rolls with Chris Paul and Devin Booker, you add the big center DeAndre Ayton into the mix, and he just absolutely hammers it. 26 points, 17 rebounds, 6 offensive rebounds, so more points there. He got to the line 4 times, knocked them all down. 11 of 15 from the field, no three-pointers, so the man is just hustling down low, eating over and over and over again. So this Suns team, I absolutely love them. They're great. Chris Paul, he always elevates every team he's on, which is great. They've got the great scorer in Devin Booker. They've got the great big down low in DeAndre Ayton. Now they just need a little bit better of a bench. Little bit better. They got Cameron Payne here with 10 points. They got Jay Crowder here with 11 points, but they're not as consistent as they are kind of in this game. So a little bit more consistency here on this bench, and this Suns team is ready to rock, folks. Truly, this is a great team. We are going to be doing kind of a weekly power rankings in the NBA, and we are going to do those on Friday. And so our first one is coming up tomorrow. Expect the Suns to be easily top 10, kind of like what our NFL power rankings are. We'll have the top 10 of who we think are the best teams in the league, and I think we're going to be putting Suns possibly top 5, maybe top 5. Top 5 may be a stretch right now, but they are still a good team. They will definitely be in top 10. I can almost guarantee that. Alrighty, let's go to a game where a team will definitely be in the top 10, and I may even put them at number 1, folks. Stop playing with the Warriors. They're good. Oh, my God, they're so good. They're so freaking good. They just get the win yesterday against the Spurs. They give the Spurs their largest loss of the season, 20-point loss here, and the Warriors just absolutely destroyed the Spurs, 121-99. Fantastic work. So here, let's start here with the Warriors. I mean, we got to talk Steph Curry, 26 points, 4 of 8 from 3, so cashing in those 3-pointers like we know he does. 11 rebounds. He led the league in rebounds, or he led his team in rebounds with 11, folks. The man is shifty. He's quick. He's all over the floor. You have to guard him at the 3-point line, and if you don't, he will crash the boards, as we're seeing right here, 11 rebounds. And to go along with the 7 assists. So fantastic there. And Kelly Oubre Jr., 16 points. So we got a clip here. Respect Kelly Oubre, folks. This is why the Warriors are good, because they got nice playmakers and they're unselfish. A nice little rebound here. Offensive rebound by Kelly Oubre. And he just puts it back with the slam dunk. I think we get it in slow motion here. Here it is. Look at this man just get up. Nobody's guarding him. Nobody's boxing him out. And he's just good enough to know instinctively, I'm going to crash the board because, I go 100% every single game. So love what the Warriors had. They still got Steve Kerr as the head coach. So, he's going to make the schemes work. He's going to make his players work. And that's what they got because, what is it, 2-game winning streak? Lakers, Spurs. I mean, folks, we're talking about some good teams in this league that they're beating. Yes, they struggled early because, a lot of players weren't playing on their team. Draymond Green here, 9 points, but look at him, a plus 24 in, the plus-minus category, which means if you're not familiar with it, if you're plus, that means when you were on the floor, you contributed more points than you given up as, the 5 on the floor. And if you're minus, then when you were on the floor, you were outscored. So that's the plus and minus there. So that just basically indicates good defense, and Draymond Green, big beef down low for the Warriors, and he had 24. He was a plus 24. Let's talk about James Wiseman, the rookie here, rookie center for the Warriors, and he had a fantastic game as well. 20 huge points, 6 rebounds. He shot 72%, 8 of 11, no threes taken. So once again, just eating down low, not being able to be stopped, and he was a plus 17. So, decent defense by him as well. When you put up 20 points and you're a plus 17, you have good contribution, good offense, good defense. And, when you're on the floor, you're a plus 17 overall. So very well done there. What do we got on this bench? Damn, they had a lot of players play. No solid contribution. Well, they had decent contribution here. How many bench players did they have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's pretty good. So let's just go through them all. Kevin Looney, 2 points in 13 minutes, 5 rebounds. Very well done. Kent Bazemore, 9 points. That's a solid, shooter off the bench. Damian Lee, 2 points. What else do he have? 5 rebounds. Eric Paschal, 7 points, 3 rebounds, 3 assists. So these bench players are making it work because Steve Kerr's a good coach. And, this is kind of what the Raptors are lacking. They're lacking the star power. They have the bench. They have the role players, but the Raptors don't have a star player. This is what you do with good role players, good coaching, and you have, a couple of star players in Steph Curry, Draymond Green. Andrew Wiggins is even a star player. He's really emerging and really kind of redefining his career in his game here with the Warriors, so I absolutely love that. Let's continue with these bench players for the Warriors. Jordan Poole with 9 points. Brad Wanamaker, 3 points, 5 rebounds, 4 assists. Wasn't he on the Celtics last year? He was pretty good for them. So great pickup here, 20 minutes of play and just getting it done. Points, rebounds, assists, and he had 2 steals. So, they're all dogs here. Steve Kerr knows how to coach, folks. He was a player. He knows what it takes to, elevate pieces and make players, play better than what they actually are. And, the Warriors, their bench, they're deep. They don't have Klay Thompson, but they sure do have a good supporting cast instead of him. So look out for the Warriors. I'll put them number 1 tomorrow in our power rankings. I do not care. I do not care that the Lakers have a better record, the Clippers have a better record, the Bucks have a better. Do the Bucks have a better record? They may. But either way, the point still stands. The Warriors are good, folks. Alrighty, let's talk about the Spurs, and then we'll move on to the next game. But DeMar DeRozan, 15 points. What else did he do? 3 assists, 2 rebounds. Nothing great. Shot 3 of 8 from the field. Leading scorer, DeJounte Murray, 22 points. Very well done. Shot 56%, so we can definitely get behind that. A couple flounders here. LaMarcus Aldridge, only 4 points in the starting lineup. Lonnie Walker, only 3 points in the starting lineup. Decent bench contributions here. Rudy Gay, 11 points. Jacob Poeltl, 10 points. But overall, didn't get it done. Didn't even score 100 points. And, no big shot leader here. Most was 22 points by DeJounte Murray. It's not going to get it done when you got Steph Curry over here cooking all day long from 3, from just easy pick and roll. They're too good, folks. Truly too good. Alrighty, let's go to the Clippers and the Kings game. And this is all we need to talk about here. Let's just play this little highlight here of Kawhi Leonard. This just speaks. He had 6 steals in the game, folks. 6 steals. This is the only play you need to watch to figure out what happened in this game. Kawhi Leonard literally just palms the ball out of that man's hands, lackadaisically runs down to the 3-point line, and just nonchalantly launches a 3 that goes in. I think he almost had 40 points if he had 40 points, and he had 6 steals. So, I mean, this clip encapsulates exactly what happened in this Kings-Clippers game. The Kings got absolutely destroyed. We see it here, 115-96. Alrighty, so let's start here with the Clippers since we're talking about them already. Kawhi Leonard, 32 points. So he didn't reach 40, but 32 points, 6 steals, 5 assists, 3 rebounds, shot 60%, got to the line 3 times, hit 3 of 5 from 3. So literally doing everything. Stat sheet stuffer, truly. He's also a plus 18 on the plus and minus, so good defense by him as well. What do we got? Paul George, 19 points, 12 assists, 7 rebounds. Love to see him. Like to see him, at the 22 to 25 point range. But, when he's, having, 12 assists and 7 rebounds, we can forgive the 19 points as long as he's contributing on the game. And he was a plus 13. So good defense once again by him. Patrick Beverley getting the start to 6 points. Didn't really make the most out of it. Serge Ibaka, 8 points, 0 of 1 from 3. We love to see that, man. He had great success on the Raptors last season in the bubble. Great 3-point shooter, and like to see him here in the starting lineup. He fits perfectly. Good beef down low, can hit the 3, extend the floor for Kawhi Leonard and Paul George. So love the Serge Ibaka pickup here for the Clippers. Love to see him in the starting lineup too, truly. Alrighty, what else do we got to talk about? Let's go up to the Sacramento Kings. What do they got? De'Aaron Fox, 25 points. He shot 55%. The best probably person on the Kings, and then maybe they do have a pretty decent starting lineup. As we said, like no superstars, but really solid players here. De'Aaron Fox, Buddy Hield, Raquan Holmes, Marvin Bagley, and Harrison Barnes. I mean, these are all solid players. But they don't have the superstar, folks. We need a superstar on the team, and the Kings don't have one. That's why they're usually non-competitive and not going to make the playoffs. You need at least one superstar, and they don't have it. Now, De'Aaron Fox can elevate himself to a superstar, but he's still real young in his career. So 25 points by him, shot very well. Buddy Hield, 13 points. Didn't shoot the best, 41%. Could definitely get that up a little bit. But look at these starters. We're talking about 25 points for De'Aaron Fox, 13 points by Buddy Hield, 10 points by Marvin Bagley, 8 points by Raquan Holmes, and 5 points by Harrison Barnes. It's just like they need another scoring option, a consistent scoring option, and they really don't have that. So until they get that, you can, talk about the Kings, the Timberwolves. What other teams are we talking about? Not even, maybe even the Raptors. They're starting to really fall off, folks. It is truly unfortunate. Was that the last game? That was the last game. Oh, alrighty. So, yeah, that's the basketball. That was the basketball, folks, from last night. Now, we do have 3 games on tonight. Doubleheader on national TV. Love to see that. So, 7:30 game. Lakers, Bucks. Gonna be a real good one. LeBron James and Anthony Davis are game time decisions, but I would expect them to go. This is a big game, nationally televised. I believe the Bucks are first in the East. Is that correct? Let's double check this. Do I got the standings up somewhere? We don't have the standings up. Is this it? Yeah, here it is. All right, let's refresh these NBA standings. Are the Bucks the best team in the East? No, second best, 9-5, with the 76ers being 10-5 in the number 1 team. And the Lakers are now, the Lakers with the Clippers win last night. The Lakers now fall down to the number 2 seed at 11-4 because the Clippers have the tiebreaker over them for beating them. So big game here for the Lakers trying to reclaim that number 1 seed. And the Bucks could could potentially get the number 1 seed in the West because they would go to 10-5 with the win here, and they would be tied with the 76ers. So don't know who has the tiebreaker in that situation, but so both of these teams are competing for the number 1 seed in their respective division. So big game here, big names, and I would expect LeBron James and Anthony Davis to actually play. And then the 10 o'clock game, the Jazz and the Pelicans. Hopefully we get to see Zion Williamson drop 30 points again. That's always fun to see. And then he's going against, Donovan Mitchell, Rudy Gobert, the ultimate pick and roll combo. And then the Warriors, they're not on TV, but they're still playing 10 o'clock against the Knicks. Love the Warriors here. So Knicks are a good squad. They're up and coming. A lot of role players, which with a good coach, and they got 7 good wins here so far this season. So let's do a moneymaker for today's NBA games. We had 2 of 3 yesterday. The Nets really stuck it to us. We rode the wave. It was Kyrie Irving's first game, so we said, you know what, let's swallow the 10 points, and they couldn't even get the win anyway. So if you got the Cavs plus 10, holy moly, did you cash in ever? Alrighty, so here we go. Lakers, Bucks, and it's basically a pick'em, folks. Lakers plus 1, Bucks minus 1. Close one, but we're gonna take the Lakers here. Big game. The Bucks, everything really has to go right, and all the shots, all their 3-pointers need to drop for them to have a consistent offense. So I'm not gonna trust them. Yes, they have Giannis, but really, when the threes aren't there, when Chris Middleton's not showing up, now he's gotten a lot more consistent from last season in the bubble and his playoff games. He really did step up almost every single game. So that is a big positive. So we can start, respecting Chris Middleton a little bit more. But I would like to see him, more consistent this season. Let's see if he can kind of carry it over from last season to this season and keep it up. He's done it so far this season, but it's the first, 10, 14 games. Now that teams are getting, comfortable. Now they're getting into, more time, more game, physical shape. So we'll see, if anybody starts to clamp him down or if he starts to miss. The free throws by Giannis are still a little bit of a problem to keep in mind. Nothing too big, though. He's still going to put up 30 points a game, even if he doesn't shoot very well from the free throw line. But, I think the Lakers, this Lakers team, they're great. LeBron, Anthony Davis, and Dennis Schroeder, that's their 3 bigs. They've got the bigs for down low. LeBron can hit 3, Schroeder can hit 3, Schroeder can kick out, LeBron can kick out as he drives the Schroeder. So I think they got a better squad overall. So we're going to take this game because it's on national TV, and we're going to go with the Lakers here with the win. Pelicans and the Jazz, and a little interesting here. Jazz minus 7. That's a lot. I think I like the Pelicans here with the points. They got a great squad. I wouldn't say great. They got a real good up-and-coming squad, a little bit of a younger squad, and they got a decent coach. Am I a big fan of Stan Van Gundy? He's all right. Can he coach young Bucks? I don't know. So we'll have to, definitely keep an eye on this Pelicans team as they progress through the season. But so far, they're looking decent. And I think we're going to take the points here in this Jazz game. Donovan Mitchell, Rudy Gobert, they're good, but, for them to blow out a team, they really have to be unstoppable. And, we know that, they can be stopped sometimes. So we're going to take the Pelicans plus 7 here. Zion, Brandon Ingram, looking real good. Now, Lonzo, really determining factor. He really is the one that's really not stepping up his play. And I kind of feel like we say that every time we talk about Lonzo Ball. We couldn't step it up with LeBron. Not going to be the guy here when there's really no pressure on Lonzo. What is the pressure here? You're not playing with the king. You're playing with the second-year good up-and-coming player. You're playing with Brandon Ingram, who's really revitalizing his career with the Pelicans. So what's the pressure that's holding Lonzo back from being good? Is he just not good? We'll see. I think this is going to be a closer game, so that's why we're taking the plus 7. Alrighty, and then Warriors-Knicks. Warriors minus 4.5. That's all we have to give up. I'll take it. I do like what the Knicks are doing, but once again, when you're talking about, a team with a lot of role players, for that team to win, all the role players need to be hitting and being, like very good. I would say shooting 60%, shooting 55 to 60%. They all need to be 20 plus, because you really can't rely on the bench too much on some of these role playing teams, because they're not deep. That's why they have a lot of role players in the starting lineup, because they don't have that superstar. So now you have to elevate bench players to role players for the starter. So Warriors minus 4.5. I think I like that. Only swallowing 4.5. They've got the squad. Steph Curry still shooting lights out. This is going to be our moneymaker here. Lakers plus 1, Pelicans plus 7, and the Warriors minus 4.5. Plus 593. Throw $100 on there, and you go up to 693. Alrighty, that is it for the NBA. So now let's switch over to our NFL topic of the day. Oh, hey, before we actually look at the lines, we gotta guess the lines. Gotta guess the lines here. So let's switch over to the NFL. The conference championship games are this Sunday. Not a Saturday game and a Sunday game. Not both on Saturday. They are both on Sunday. The first one, Packers and Bucks, starting at 3:05 Eastern on Sunday, and the Bills and Chiefs squaring off at 6:40 Eastern on Sunday. So, good day of action. Huge Huge potential for these games to be absolutely great, honestly. Tom Brady versus Aaron Rodgers, Josh Allen versus Patrick Mahomes. Whew, going to be a good one. So let's start here. We're going to talk through the games, predict the line, look at the line, see where we were right, see where we were wrong. Are we on par with Vegas? Are we off with Vegas? Are we going to rob Vegas this week? Only 2 games, so it's going to be a little hard to absolutely rob them, but, hopefully we can find some good value. So without further ado, here we go. Bucks, Packers. I gotta go Packers here, folks. It's just Tom Brady. The difference between the way that Tom Brady's playing and Aaron Rodgers is playing through these playoff games is so different, folks. Tom Brady, he's only taking advantage of the short fields. As we saw, he really couldn't move the ball too well without a Drew Brees turnover from last week, where Aaron Rodgers, it doesn't matter. He can sling it from his own 20-yard line and drive 75 yards. The running game for the Packers is absolutely magnificent, and when you have to defend the run and the pass, it's just too much. So Packers, they've got the weapons. They've got the better quarterback. I'm taking Aaron Rodgers over Tom Brady. Now, I know it's hard to go against Tom Brady of what he's done in his career, and he always kind of squeaks it out. He always finds the way to win, but this is a huge game. It's the NFC. I know this is the first time that Aaron Rodgers can finally go toe-to-toe with Tom Brady and, to go to the Super Bowl. This is a huge matchup. Aaron Rodgers wants more respect in the greatest of all time, talk conversation. And he knows if he can go toe-to-toe with Tom Brady here and beat him and win a ring, we can start elevating, Aaron Rodgers to possibly being the best of all time, folks. We can really start having that conversation and, really making some really solid arguments that he's better than Tom Brady. But he does need to get the win first, and he does need to get another ring, and then we can have that conversation. The Bucks, Tom Brady, as we said, he's just not looking great. He's looking all right. Playing with short fields is his strength. He's showing it here. He's barely completing 50% of his passes, and that's a huge red flag, especially when you're going on the road in the cold to go to the Super Bowl. It's a lot of pressure, and this Packers team has an absolute good defense, folks. Do I dare say great? I may dare say that. They shut down the Rams offense last week, even though it's nothing great. This Bucks team definitely has a lot more weapons. This Bucks team can show that they run the ball very well. We see Ronald Jones, we see Leonard Fournette doing very, very well. Once again, helping Tom Brady out a little bit as well. So that's definitely good. What do the Bucks do good on defense? They can really stop the run decently, which will, maybe limit the Packers game a little bit. But, you can still trust Aaron Rodgers. It's not like with the Bucks, you would really have to rely on a turnover from the Packers or the running game for the Bucks to really set up Tom Brady, where Aaron Rodgers is like, if the running game's not going, you can put it all on me. I don't care. I've got the weapons. I've got the arm. I've got the accuracy. I've got the completion percentage. I don't have the turnovers. Y'all see I don't have any turnovers, right? Tom Brady, he's got a couple of them. So absolutely love the Packers here this week. I think they win it. They're at home. Absolutely fantastic. And since we're bringing up the home factor, it's in Lambeau. It's cold. So let's go to RotoWire to find out what the actual weather is going to be during kickoff of this game. So here we see it's 27 degrees with a 7% chance of snow. Now, this is Thursday, folks. We did the same thing last week against the Rams, and it started at 32 degrees and 6% chance of snow, went up to 13% chance of snow, and it actually snowed for a little bit. Not crazy, but there was some snowflakes out there. So partly cloudy here. It's going to be even colder than it was last week. Tom Brady, aging quarterback, doesn't want to get hit, going to stiffen up in the cold. The arm's already not that great. It's an all right arm still. 40 yards, pretty accurate. Anything more than that, it's going to start to duck a little bit, as we saw in some throws of our film study that we did yesterday. So the arm, if we're just talking about straight quarterback play, it's Packers all day, folks. So going to be cold. Not great for Tom Brady. Running game by the Packers has been absolutely great. Running back by committee for the Packers has been absolutely great. Aaron Rodgers has been great. The defense has been great. I don't know what's the one flaw on this Packers team. What's the one flaw? If they get flustered after going 3 and out, frustrated after going 3 and out, 3 and out, 3 and out, 3 straight times, that's their only weakness, I'll take it. So I just think the Bucs have a lot more downside than the Packers do, folks. I think Tom Brady can easily throw a pick, easily not be good, and easily be knocked around by this Packers defense. Whereas Aaron Rodgers, yes, this Bucs defense is good, and they may be able to get pressure on Aaron Rodgers, but he's the master at getting rid of the ball. He's the master at, quickly getting it off, dumping it off, letting the run elevate him even more. So with all that being said, we're going to go Packers here. And we're going to go decently big. We're going to call this one Packers -5.5. It's pretty big for, a conference championship, but you get the 3 for the home field. And, yeah, the Bucs have a lot of talent, but at the end of the day, it's who's throwing the ball to the talent. And I'm going to take Aaron Rodgers over Tom Brady this week. Packers -5.5. Alrighty, now we get Bills and Chiefs. Winner for the AFC goes to the Super Bowl. Bills, Josh Allen's looking amazing, looking real good, being the game manager. Now, last week he missed a throw to Stephon Diggs, unfortunate. That was unfortunate. But, the Bills' defense is very good. The fact that they held the Ravens to 3 points, that gives me a lot of hope for what their defense can do against this Chiefs team. There's just so much speed between Patrick Mahomes and, they still got LaShawn McCoy, a running back, if they need to break him out. And they got the fastest wide receiver in the NFL, Tyreek Hill. And they got the beefiest, best catching tight end in the league, Travis Kelce. So they've got some real weapons here. The Bills were able to kind of shut down every single weapon of the Ravens last week. So that does give a little help, a little confidence that they can do the same here with the Chiefs. All right, let's talk about the Chiefs now. How is Patrick Mahomes going to look? Well, he cleared concussion protocol, so that's good. But how is that kind of foot injury looking? He was still kind of hobbling even, after that injury. Still making some nice throws, but, the off-balance throws weren't as accurate after, him, injuring the toe. But it's Chiefs at home. It's Andy Reid. It's a chance to go back to the Super Bowl. They're going to be good to go. Patrick Mahomes will play through the injury. He will look 100%. I don't think we really have to factor in the injury. I think he will be kind of actually real good playing at 100% or near 100%. Or even playing at 95%, because his 95% is easily everybody else's 100%. I mean, the man's that good. Chiefs defense has been real solid all season. Tyrann Mathieu, possibly, you can make the argument for best safety in the league. I would probably put him at top 2, top 3. I could make the argument. I'm a big fan of Tyrann Mathieu. He's a ball hawk. He knows how to play defense. He knows how to read coverages. He knows how to read quarterbacks, and he's always in the right place at the right time. I put him in the same category. I put these 3 safeties all in the top 3. Jamal Adams, Tyrann Mathieu, Minkah Fitzpatrick. Those are the guys. And I'm really starting to look at Budda Baker. Next season, we're going to be focusing heavy on Budda Baker. I will say that, because I was impressed what he did this season. Safety for the Cardinals. So let's digress a little bit back here to Bills and Chiefs. Bills got a great defense. Josh Allen's playing very good. Stephon Diggs, you can't cover the man. You cannot cover Stephon Diggs. He's always the number 1 leading wide receiver for the Bills. You can't cover him. He's too quick off of his feet, like we just saw Devontae Smith at the top of the show. He's great with his feet, so he can instantly get open. He doesn't need that 1 yard of contact to get open. He can just do it with his feet. This is a tough one, man. It's real tough. I don't even know who I want to win this game, and I don't even know who I want to root for in this game, because I'll tell you right now, I want Aaron Rodgers to win, and I want to root for Aaron Rodgers in the Packers. But this Bills, I want to root for the Bills so bad, because what Josh Allen's doing is absolutely incredible. And I would also like to see the Chiefs go back-to-back, because I'm all about back-to-back titles here. So, real tough one. Going to be a great game. This is going to be so great, and I hope it lives up to the hype. But I think we're just going to have to kind of play this one a little safe, and we're going to go Chiefs -3. I mean, folks, in our power rankings, we have them ranked. Is it 1 and 2? It's 1 and 2. Bills 1, Chiefs 2. So, I mean, very, very close teams. They're all great. They all do their own things. They're great quarterbacks, great defense, great running game, great weapons, great coaches. I mean, folks, this is truly the best of the best. These are the 2 best teams in the AFC. So I'm definitely glad that we are seeing these 2 teams square off. We'll see what the line is and make our choice. We may just go with the points here. Whoever's getting points, I think we just have to take them. We'll call this one Chiefs -3. Damn, it's going to be so good. Oof. And I'm kind of glad it's the later game, the 6:40 game, the nightcap game. Damn, this one's going to be good, folks. I really cannot wait for it. Alrighty, so now that we guessed the lines and predicted them and talked through them, let's refresh DraftKings and see what we get. So here we go. Lines are officially up to the date. We're talking about 12:59 and 30 seconds in on 1/21/21, folks. So here it is. The official lines. Bucks. Packers. We predicted it at Packers -5.5, and it's going to be Packers -3.5. I think that is absolutely great value. We see Vegas playing the line pretty safe here. You get -3 for being home field right off the rip, and we see the Packers are -3.5. So Vegas is saying on a neutral field that the Packers are half a point better than the Bucks, and I would agree with that. I would take, yes, the Bucks have so much talent, but it's Tom Brady, and we've seen him struggle getting the ball to his wide receivers. He's going back to his tight ends and his running backs and not hitting, Mike Evans till they're in the red zone and not getting AB involved. So yes, you have the weapons, but who's delivering the ball? And I'll take the better quarterback in this situation. We only have to give up 3.5. That's pretty decent, folks. That's not bad. So this running game for the Packers, I really think that's going to be the key of winning this game. Where the Bucks, I think the Packers get on them kind of early defensively. They stop the run game, and they just kind of dare Tom Brady, hey, Tom, beat us, which is kind of crazy to say. I mean, if a head coach ever came up to you in the last 15 years and be like, hey, for the game plan this week, let's shut down the run and dare Tom Brady to throw, you'd be like, you need to get the heck out of this organization, because what the heck are you smoking? We're stopping Tom Brady, priority number one. So I think the Packers are going to be daring Tom Brady to throw. They got great corners, Jair Alexander. He can lock up anybody. So, yes, let's have one-on-one coverage. I can lock up Mike Evans. I can lock up Antonio Brown. Whoever you need me on Gronk for a play, I can do that. So I really think the Packers are going to be playing with a dangerous flame here and, stopping the Bucks run to have Tom Brady to throw, because he's only completing 50%, folks. And it's not just one playoff game where, his first playoff game he completed 53% and then the next one he completed like 65. No, it's like 53 and like 54 the last two playoff games. So we just can't buy Tom Brady this week, folks. That's basically what it's going to come down to. The running game for the Packers, Aaron Rodgers, the weapons, we got to take it. So Packers -3.5. We love it. Ooh, we love it. And then Bills Chiefs. We predicted the line at Chiefs -3, and it's Chiefs -3. So, right on target. I mean, these are two equal teams, folks. Josh Allen, he's big like Big Ben. He's got the arm of all the greats. He's got the size of Big Ben. He's got the arm of Aaron Rodgers, and he kind of is a little bit, maybe a step behind of, Patrick Mahomes in the speed department. But he still has a great running game, and he's just big, and he makes right decisions. He's not turning the ball over, and I can get behind that 1,000%. If you're not turning the ball over, you have a real good chance of winning the game. He's cleaning up the fumbles. He's cleaning up the interceptions. He's making the right reads. If nothing's open, he throws it away. He's not trying to force anything. And once again, another huge green flag to buy into for this Bills team. Love everything about it. The defense is, the fact that they stopped the Ravens, folks, that's huge. That's huge. You know how many weapons they have just running the ball, and they shut them all down. Only allowed 3 points. Bempa didn't break in the red zone. They let the Ravens drive and drive and drive. I think it was like a 13-play, 75-yard drive that ended at the end zone with a pick six. So the bend but don't break of the defense. The Josh Allen playing very, very well. So I think we may have to take the points here with the Bills +3. The Chiefs, now, they got all the momentum on their side. They're at home, defending champions, Andy Reid, Patrick Mahomes, the speed, it's all there. And it's going to be definitely difficult to contain. If you're comparing the Chiefs' weapons to the Ravens' weapons, I think the Chiefs have overall better weapons because they can stretch the field with their passing game, something that the Ravens cannot do, or they didn't do. They may be able to do it, but they didn't show that they could do it when it really mattered, unfortunately. So, Chiefs... Man, this is tough. We're not even supposed to be making our official picks here. What are we doing? We're giving away tomorrow's segment. So forget that we said Packers -3.5, and forget that we just said Bills +3. So please tune in tomorrow. But let's keep going through this one just a couple more seconds. Chiefs, Tyrann Mathieu versus Josh Allen. Is he going to be able to expose Josh Allen? I hope not. I don't want Tyrann Mathieu. Now, if Tyrann Mathieu did it, I would say that's the only person I want to be, kind of ruining Josh Allen's non-interception streak. Oh, so tough, folks. Great quarterback, great coaching, great defenses. I think the Chiefs may have better weapons than the Bills do offensively. If I'm taking between Tyreek Hill and Stephon Diggs, it's tough. But I think I may go with Tyreek Hill. Tyreek Hill can get open with the speed, and he can catch the ball like he's 6'3" and not 5'10", which he really is. Stephon Diggs, he can get open too, man. It's tough, man. Ooh, this is so good. Ooh, this is a good game. Damn. We said the Bills are the number 1 seed. We did say that in our power rankings, so we got to rock with the Bills, folks. I think Josh Allen's going to pull it off, folks. I think he's going to pull it off. If he can play mistake-free football, they can get it done. Alrighty. Damn. Gonna be a good one. All right. I know I said it as a lot, folks, but I truly cannot wait for this game. Like, I want it to happen now. I want to talk about it now. I want to break it all down now. But we have to wait a couple more days. We got Friday, Saturday, and, we have to wait. We got to wait. I mean, how cruel. I know I said I liked it being the nightcap game, but, ooh, if it was 1 o'clock, could have got it out of the way early. But they're making us wait the long game for it. And you know what? It's what it has to be. I mean, that's out of the 2 games for Sunday, that's going to be the better game, I think. I think the Bucs are going to get exposed a little bit, honestly. Alrighty, that is going to do it for us today. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for watching. We're back tomorrow with our official picks. We'll try to calm down on this Bills-Chiefs game and try to settle in a little bit. Yeah, so we'll come at you live with our official picks on that, cover basketball, cover our classic stories, and then we're out of there. Maybe a surprise segment if we find something good. Alrighty, so yeah, back tomorrow, noon Eastern, live, twitch.tv/ShakesByFans. Alrighty, folks, we'll see you.